Welcome in to this week's episode of Untold Stories, a weekly D&D campaign set in the world of Elvoria. We're back with these wonderful humans. We are down Emma, unfortunately, again this time, but we're here to roll some dice, attempt some questionable accents, and hopefully tell a decent story. As always, if you're interested in the alternative classes that are being run by Aderyn, Balrick, Lesley, and Ximori, you can grab the Reimagined Classes on the DMsGuild for Barbarian, Fighter, Sorcerer, and Ranger, and any money that goes from that goes towards trying to improve and enjoying our lives with this campaign. Obviously, NPC art and character art. The artist links are in the description for Erin Angelini with all of the NPC art, and at Liv Doodles for our character art. But I think that's everything to cover to begin with, so I think it's time to continue telling our story. Last time out, you came face to face with the legend of the Ysra Wood, Big Momma, the gigantic crocodile that attempted to eat Ximori multiple times, and through teamwork, effort, and questionable decision-making in the case of the Barbarian who decided to run back at the crocodile after being saved from its jaws, you managed to beat off Mama, at which point she disappeared into the river to lick her wounds and hunt another day. At which point Ximori went on a animalistic rampage in a desperate need to fulfill some kind of hunger, which ended in them nearly fatally stabbing Balrick, and were it not for the Rangers' incredible constitution, might have ended differently. Instead, Balrick whacked Ximori around the temple, knocking them completely unconscious. What followed, over the period of a short rest, was a rather revealing party chat, where numerous elements of backstories, abilities, raison d'etres, as you will, were revealed to the party that seemingly brought everyone closer together. But we pick up with you all on the skiff, tied securely on the side of the river, Balrick having finished preparing the stoat-like creatures that they'd found running around the woods.
Peeling them like potatoes.
And
boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
And we will pick up there with you sitting on the banks, or sitting by the banks, assessing what your next course is.
I just want to, the fact that short rest was kind of real time as well. It was almost a real time short rest. That's how long it was.
That's what you're here for. That's where you get the good role playing, minute by minute.
Man, that travel time would have taken a lot longer.
Perceptions.
Have you seen a dragon and it spoke to you? What did it say?
I'll pick up my prepared stoats. I reckon probably just I want to put a fire on this raft. How would I prepare stoats? Why did you say stoats?
Please stop committing arson. Don't set fire to the boats. Please stop.
Why did you say
Set fire to the river.
I think I'll just I don't know what I've done with the stoats. Yeah, maybe I'll put a fire on the bank and cook them there. But I'll come around with these stoats and give everyone a smoked stoat on a stick to nibble on, like a kebab. Might as well do so. I'll go. Not too long ago, a month, 2 months, maybe 3. I was hunting in the north, and I told you I'm a hunter. Some unsavory folk might call me a poacher at times. I hunt rare things. I don't hunt normal animals. I hunt monstrosities and beasts of a magical nature. The displacer beast that we found. Anyway, I was hunting in the forests up north, and I got to witness a most terrifying event. One that I hope none of you ever witness in your life. But a group of giants hunting a dragon. A brutal experience. And the dragon ultimately fended these giants off, but was mortally wounded in the process, and the giants not wanting to flee without some form of victory, destroyed this poor dragon's nest and its young, its eggs. I came upon this dragon as she was dying, and in my mind, I mean, it sounds awful and morbid, but that's my living. Is the rare beast parts, and the dragon's corpse is a valuable thing. So I approached, trying to get myself something, and in fact, this is something I took, and I pull out on a pendant. Was it on a chin? I think I got it on a chin. A little small vial of silvery, crystally blood. But when I got there, she wasn't dead yet, and she spoke to me in my mind. Crystal dragon. She was a very, very rare type with strong psychic powers, I guess, or maybe all dragons can do that. I'm not an expert. Beautiful though. Plus, and that colour, the colours that Derek has, but on a whole nother level. Every colour of the rainbow at once. She spoke to me, and in her claws was a tiny egg, holdable, cracked, damaged. And she bade me take care of it, and so I did. I took that with me, and she passed away in front of me, and I harvested a little bit. It's a weird sensation when you realise that they're really intelligent creatures and so powerful and majestic. I didn't want to take much, so just took a little bit of the blood that was dripping already and kind of didn't desecrate the corpse as I was initially going to. But I took this egg back to a druid that I know, a very powerful woman, a very intelligent woman. And I'm in no fit state to be raising anything, or at least I don't feel like it. So not again. I didn't really want to raise a new life again. So I hope that she'd take care of it. I think that's dead, though. That cracked egg. I think he's followed me and found me somehow. But that's my experience with the dragon.
So you have to take care of Derek then. She entrusted him to you.
I didn't want to. I didn't really make the connection for a little bit. I didn't really want to accept it. Like I say, don't feel like much of a good father figure at the moment. So I didn't want to raise a young thing.
I don't think your feelings on the matter have much to do with anything. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like a good father. This dragon entrusted you with her baby. Do you know how important that is?
Aye, of course I know how important that is. You think you understand the importance of parenthood more than I do?
No.
I understand how important that is, which is why I entrusted it to someone I respected and trusted, and I thought would be a better fit someone who could take care of it, who wasn't making a dangerous journey hundreds of miles south.
That's what I'm
the
trying to
Empire.
say. It doesn't matter if you think you weren't fit. The dragon clearly thought you were.
I guess at this point it doesn't matter whether I think I'm fit today's Dirk or not. He's chosen me now, hasn't he?
How did the voice of the dragon feel in your mind?
Powerful. Strong. Powerful. Even in the dire moments she had like raw, magical speech.
Do you think if Derek keeps growing, he'll be able to speak as well, and then he can tell us more about Dragonkind?
Perhaps. Any similarity in the way that the drugs we talked about, didn't we? That the dragon did speak in my mind. Yeah. Any similarity between the way that the dragon spoke in my mind and the way that Aderyn speaks in people's minds? Having felt both.
There's some similarity. You don't really have anything to compare it against from having things spoken in your mind, but they don't feel overtly dissimilar, at least.
It felt similar when she spoke in my mind to when you did. Different. You're a human. Ish. You're a a humanoid. You're one of the normal sentient races. You've got that standard. It's like a person. I don't know. When you talk in my mind, it was just like talking. But it was strange. There was definitely a similarity there. Just she was a much larger thing. A dragon's mind is vast.
It sounds like a very special experience.
I'll stay with me. How's your start? Your start. The stick of meat.
That's what it's called?
It probably not, but it looks close enough to one.
Tasty.
Can you talk or communicate with Derek yet? Or at all?
He listens to me. I haven't heard him say much to me.
Oh, I heard him say something to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
When?
I assumed he just said it to everyone.
When was this?
The first day that he stuck around.
So he can speak.
Well, it didn't really. I think it's more like, like when a baby first tries.
I'll try when we get back. Probably should leave me alone.
We're gonna keep following this trail then. Find your guy.
Hey, let's get out of this swamp. Out of my swamp. Yeah, when I went to hunt the store, I also looked for any trails. Can I roll survival to?
Yeah, I was going to give it to you anyway.
Okay.
You were wandering a fair while, and you ended up going up the river. And you eventually found a marker point that looked like a pie symbol. Greek letters don't exist in this world, but a pie symbol.
What flavour pie?
Lemon.
It's more like a horse tack. Well, not what tack. What's it called? Like a horse stand where you tie horses to.
Yes. And so you just mentally logged that. It's still kind of partially on river, but by the looks of it, it like the way that it's placed is what it does. Is it seems to like suggest that you come off the main river onto this like side bit where there's like a small embankment that like separates you from the main river as you continue heading up. So you eventually kind of lead everyone off from there, and make your way upriver. It's not that far further upstream to that point, and you start weaving through once again kind of lazy lagoon-like stuff and navigating inwards towards more firmer ground. Roll me. Go.
We've left the skiffs, yeah.
No, you're still on the skiffs at this point.
Roll you up.
Roll me. Yeah, let's call it survival. It's essentially a navigation skill check, but survival's decent enough.
11.
11. It takes you some time to weave your way through all of these trees. Like the sun does start to like shift through the sky a fair amount. It's probably kind of mid-afternoon before you catch sight of any other kind of signage. At which point, Togrim, you're the one to spot it. There is interestingly, compared to all the previous other signs, which have been like small carvings like into tree trunks or like oddly placed kind of placards that kind of slightly blend in, this is just a giant sign attached to like a giant stump embedded in the water, like raising about 4 feet out, and then just like a large placard which has just a large H-like shape on it. But as you approach, you realise this H is actually like a pictogram of what looks like a dock. And you see coming around the bend a like hastily constructed, like a constructed jetty stuck out from solid-looking land out into the lagoon with a couple of other like canoes like tied up here. It looks like a actually decently constructed like dock, essentially in the middle of the swamps.
This is the place, but what are we looking for here again?
But after my guy, Fiddler.
Wasn't these notes leading us to something specific?
I'm hoping to him. It mentioned someone else though, didn't it? The notes.
Yeah.
Lesley had the notes, wasn't it? Written down already.
While they're doing this, are there any like paddles in the like leftover boats?
You'd need to pull up to the dock to take a look. You're still kind of pulling up at this point.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Lights.
I think there was an auntie mentioned.
Yeah, anti-blight
Oh, I
route.
see.
And I assume that Lesley goes, yeah, it was anti-blight route.
Yeah, Leslie's flicking through the notes.
Leslie.
Where's Lesley?
Leslie.
My voice will not hold up to try and do that today.
What, you can't do a Yorkshire accent?
I can't do a Yorkshire accent normally.
Can't do that. I do Yorkshire accent if you want me to do Lesley.
I had any trace of regional accent busted out of me by Surrey. I'm just.
He's a regional accent.
I have a received pronunciation accent, and it will not leave me alone.
But as you kind of you pull into this jetty, it's made out of like hollow wooden tubes, like lashed together with vines. There's like small patches of algae and weeds like winding up this construction. As I said, a couple of canoes are tied up to the dock, although doesn't appear to be like any signs of owners around right now. In fact, this whole dockyard is relatively quiet. Along the banks, kind of either side of the jetty, is a number of giant toads, just kind of calmly sitting on the damp earth. Their large bodies are quite imposing, although they seem rather indifferent to your arrival, except for their very like bulbous eyes just kind of rotating as you dock and settling on you, and then just watching you walk over. Just kind of tie yourselves up.
Doing that asymmetric blink.
Did we need toads? What did we need? Ah, what was
Bats.
that? We needed
It's bats.
Oh,
We needed-
here we go.
we needed poison from snakes. We needed
Tree bark. There was a tree.
Blood.
didn't-
Some blood of a
Blood from stinky things.
troll thing.
yes, stinky little people. We needed
Stinky little people blood.
And I think the last one was it. The form of eucalyptus.
The leaves, uneven.
A weird
was it
sounding
called?
one. Yeah, Quee something.
Lesley, did you write them down? Scroll up in Emma's notes, and it is written down. So I would hope that Lesley has written it down.
Lesley wouldn't have written them down because Lesley wasn't there during that conversation. He was outside asking about Cassandra.
But you were there, so I imagine you did. Balrick
Someone
probably wrote it
remembers.
down.
Balrick remembers.
It's on the Balrick shopping list.
It's all natural. Alright,
Are you getting up onto the docks?
before we forget it, Lesley, write this down. I assume Lesley's the one with paper for some reason.
Lesley's got Fiddler's notebook.
I mean,
so he just starts
Tauri's going to
writing
be the
in
one
that.
with paper.
Yeah, no, Tauri has paper. Oh my god, of course. Tauri has literal.
Tauri's the great penmanship.
Write these down. Write these down, Tauri. I think we remember them roughly. It's I think it was ashwort leaves, snake venom. Was there a specific type of snake?
Stinky troll blood.
Troglodyte blood.
Come
Eucalyptus. Keyjaw eucalyptus.
And the stinky little people.
Yeah, that's the troglodytes.
Stinky little.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. I'm pretty sure it's trolls.
Or trolls. No, troll. I don't think you get troll blood in a swamp.
It's a good thing
I
Togrim
don't
doesn't
know.
stink.
I mean, it depends on the troll.
Alright. But make sure they're written down.
Okay, I think we are getting up onto the dock.
Cool. As you now stand on the dock, you can now see the other elements of this encampment. There's a few simple canvas tents of various faded colours, one of which appears to be very old and worn through. These camps surround a couple of unlit campfires, like you can see the stone circles surrounding the burnt earth. To one side of the dock is a simple rack with a number of smoked fish just gently hanging over an unlit fire pit. And then there's a few tables with some boat repair equipment right next to the bank. A little further in, closer to the tree line, is a small circular hut, which provides some sturdier protection from the elements beyond the tents. Despite the apparent well-kept nature of this camp, there's no one else around during this time of day by the looks of it.
Maybe the trolls ate everyone.
Yeah,
Are there any paddles in the rest of the canoes?
Roll investigation.
12.
12.
With a -1.
Yeah. Both canoes have the standard paddle that comes with them, tied to the thing.
And let's take my 50-foot of adventurer's rope.
Okay.
Tie the paddles together.
Right.
Tie them under the dock.
Say that again?
And then tie them, under the dock.
To hide them.
To hide them, because if people are going to make a getaway,
Okay.
let them take their time.
So there's no paddles on anything now.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Nothing
your
else.
random tree branches. And
Yeah.
quarter staff.
Which we put. Well, I haven't been using the quarterstaff. I used the quarterstaff once.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to put it in the river because it's not getting dirty.
It's just tree branches all the way.
I got Ximori's blood on it and then I instantly wiped it off.
Yeah.
Have that blood back.
I guess we go forward.
Want to find out where everyone is? Yes.
Let's be on guard. Weapons drawn. Be prepared.
I'll draw my dagger.
I'll have. I'll draw one of my swords, my nice sword, so I've got a sword ready.
I will take out 2 axes. And a third one.
Before we move forward, I'm going to turn to Ximori. Ximori, You
I'm
cannot.
already holding an axe in my teeth.
You cannot get angry. You can fight, but stay back until we need it. Alright? You need to control yourself. Use
Okay.
the axes, try not to use the beast.
Yeah. I take the mouth axe out and put that away. 'Cause
That's just silly.
that would be a silly thing to do.
Who would ever hold weapons in their mouth? That's a stupid thing.
Who would use a weapon held in their mouth?
Who would ever like a character that used
Some
a
sort of 3-axe style, perhaps. I could name it after various, types of food.
Partner posters.
Become a pirate. Who knows?
Stupid idea. And green hair. So it seems like a random, just an off-topic thing. But green hair, I just hate green hair.
I could change my hair color to green. Who knows?
Anyway,
Go on a wonderful adventure to find the 3 pieces of something.
Yeah, the copper piece, the silver piece, and the gold piece.
Yeah.
what about my electrum?
That is used to buy magical items and is strictly controlled.
No, that's the
within
one piece that
Empire.
isn't there,
The one piece that isn't there.
That's the one piece that we're looking for. I don't think it's real.
Oh, I was missing that one piece, yeah. Sorry, we're getting way too off track, sorry. We apologise, Gethin.
Do you?
Sorry, why are you so confused? This was like directed at you to bully you.
Yeah, but not back to me, isn't it? If Zora was real, I'd be dating him, not you.
I think it's clear, Chris, you need to dye your hair.
Yeah. Anyway, I tell Ximori off.
Going past.
I give Ximori, I give Ximori their first verbal warning.
You're such a teacher.
And then yeah, we're all prepared to go forward. Do you want me to take point?
Given I'm not meant to get angry. Yeah.
You stay at the back, make sure no one jumps us. Eh?
Yeah, right.
Isn't being at the back also kind of like taking point, just from the other way around?
No, because it wouldn't move it. No.
If you got like a pointy thing, like your dagger, one end of that is for like stabbing people, the other is for jamming in an eye socket. So it's.
Yeah,
I mean, you can put both sides in.
Ximori's taking pommel, I guess.
I take pommel.
I'll take point, you take pommel.
Who's on crossguard?
Lesley. Swords just out like that. 2 swords just. Anything comes from the side.
We are the knife family.
Knives out.
Little Kenobi.
Anyway,
How are you enjoying the Johnny Chiodini experience?
perfectly happy. I was just
Oh.
imagining Bodicea wheels. Anyway, what are you doing?
I'll take point and we'll go in. We'll go forward from the docks.
Towards anything in particular here, or just walking straight
there
through this dockyard and out the other side?
I would say, is there? Yeah.
There's the tents, there's the hut. Oh,
Yeah, we'll go to the if the hut looks like the main thing. We'll go towards that.
head over to the hut. There's a very simple wooden door to it. It doesn't appear to have any kind of lock. There is a latch to it, but it's just like to make sure that it stays shut. Yeah.
It's not locked.
Nope. Doesn't even have a lock.
Got one hand there. I will undo the latch and slowly open the door.
Make me a stealth check.
You ever noticed how rarely we tend to knock when we go places?
Really gonna bite us in the arse one day.
Oh no, I'm the arse right now.
Stop. A +8. Do I have +8? Oh, I do. That is a
Sneaky boy.
26.
Despite the apparent age and clear rust on the hinges to this door, you manage to so carefully push it open without so much as making a noise.
As I do so, I whisper some small words of Druidic. I don't know Druidic, but I think I would have known some odd words. So it's like a small blessing of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Not anything legitimately magical, just more of a prayer.
As you open the door, you kind of you peer around it and you reveal essentially an unlit room. Ever so slightly, just continue opening further and further, waiting for something, possibly anything, to jump out. Complete silence. You can spot a few kind of shapes of maybe furniture in the room, and a pit in the centre there where a fire would be. Shapes on the floor, unmoving. You finish opening the door. Nothing jumps.
Quite dark in there.
It's unlit.
Unlit, yeah.
Sunlight now creeping in through the open doorway reveals small rugs and similar along the ground.
I'm going to imagine Aderyn has been the one immediately behind me. I don't know why.
Because I'm the second in command.
I'm going to nudge her slightly and whisper to her. Because you have dark vision, don't you? I'll know that you... I'm going to nudge to her and be like, do you see anything? Really quietly. With a dark vision.
Roll me a perception check with your hand binoculars.
I activate my dark vision.
No, it's what's the little weird word in it? What's that?
I did the
Dark vision.
I think I screwed myself over by doing this because I got that one.
It's because you should have done this. It's because you should have
You forgot to open your fingers, so it's just...
I see
I don't see anything, Balrick.
I see nothing!
You look in and you see these shapes on the floor, and you look at them and just... they're bodies on the floor. Didn't hear that.
Dead? Maybe they're... Are they dead? Or... Wait, I can maybe make some, like... Can I make, like, a prestidigitation?
You can light a torch with it.
I mean, you said there's a fire pit in the middle. There's a fire pit.
You know what that needs.
You release the magic into the room as floating purple sparks reach down towards the fire pit. You manage to catch what small elements of tinder there is in there and bask the room in a very soft orange glow. And you realise those bodies are just piles of blankets.
Aderyn just scared me then. I thought that was...
Scared you? The
Warned me.
blanket scared me.
Well, you just walked in, I saw what was there, and you just threw the light on. I'm trying to be stealthy. Just blankets in. Alright, it seems safe. We'll explore the huts. We walked past tents, you said.
Yeah, there's tents as well, around other campfires that are more exposed to the elements than this.
If any of you guys want to investigate them, we'll investigate the hut. Or anyone else can join us investigate this and look through this.
Cool.
Okay, have a look.
Anyone can roll investigation.
That's all they're all investigations.
Yay, it's a grand total of 13 with my -1.
Can I get Lesley to give me a hand?
Sure. He's not helpful.
Take a disadvantage.
To be fair, I rolled 2 dice in the hopes. Both rolled the exact same number, so it doesn't matter.
He is not helpful.
Lesley is already drunk.
Yes. For investigation, I rolled a 23.
23?
17.
17. Was that 2 17s?
No, I think
19.
19.
Cool. You find a fair amount Just generally, those of you looking around the tents closest to the dock, you find a decent amount of tools and materials to repair boats, skiffs, canoes, and the like. You find You find 15 days worth of rations, split across varying different types of dried meats and smoked fish and fruits and the like. So some will go off quicker than others, but just dotted around, stored relatively well. In the hut, you find two things of particular interest. You find a map that's slightly eaten or like taken by damp, so like it doesn't have the whole element. But what it is a map of Ysra Wood, at least the western side of it, with the edge of it mapped to the Ysra River that you were on previously. And it's got a number of these, of those H symbols, like sideways eye symbols, that you had seen on the notebook and was essentially a pictogram on the image for the dock. With the various high investigation rolls, your assumption is that this is essentially a map of where these various docks are throughout Ysra Wood. Seemingly, the locals have constructed these at various points for people who are in the woods for longer, doing longer fishing journeys or anything to that effect. So you essentially now have a map of other varying interesting elements. The other thing you find is a logbook, a leather-bound journal, kind of tied up with a cord, that seems to contain like a hotel guest book kind of thing. It is people who are here seem to like leave notes or tips or advice or the ongoings or any events that happened for anyone else coming through.
Any names pop out?
No names per se, but you go through it and you pick up a few things. Let's say I'm going to carry on those investigation checks because they were all fairly high. Notes such like the local lizard folk tribe seems to become more aggressive, although they're not interested in us, strangely, seemingly leaving these docks alone. The Catopleus herds are the worst thing I've ever experienced, and if I have to smell something like that again, I will commit suicide. Note of an odd multicoloured plant that they'd never seen before that made them dizzy just to look at, so they left it well enough alone, like any smart fisherman does. The fishing, speaking of which, has been fairly steady, and the end of summer is providing good value for those who are willing to do the longer hauls deeper into the woods. Some messages scattered around about, like, the plants of the forest feeling a little vindictive at the minute, like vines tripping people up and branches hitting people in the face. Some of it's passed off as people being stupid and walking into trees. Two other ones, more recently, like in the last couple of weeks, maybe. Someone wrote down that they saw some dancing lights through the trees, like small globules of soft white yellow light. But the commentary is just like, I know better than to play with spirits, so I lit the other fire and stayed in camp. And then there's one other note in there from a group a couple of days ago, actually, that just said, found some wild devil weed, and we had a great evening smoking that.
Does it say where?
It doesn't.
I just want to point out that Tara's an amazing note taker. That bit with all that information is the one bit she's decided not to note down. All the bits with all the clues and all the information, Tara's gone, no, that's not important.
They briefly mentioned devilweed. That was it for summer.
I only include the important things.
On the other hand, she has at the very least quoted Balrick as singing Frozen. So, I suppose it depends on your point of view with what's important. I will copy that in.
Sounds like Balrick needs to let it go.
Yeah.
There is an unhinged energy to today's session, as it seems.
We got too real last time.
After all the reality and the deepness of the other one, I think we've all got a bit loopy.
Listen, can't not take out of character while being in character, okay?
Yeah. Oh, this is so it's like a logbook of visitors. This isn't a people live here and have written this. This is a
That's exactly the feeling you get. This place is a
waystation.
Yes, it's the exact term.
I don't think this is a permanent settlement or anything. I think this is just information people who pass through, like that. Okay, I don't want to say that. Okay, I'm going to say, Tabitha's burial ground. That was it's sort of this died.
Minute of silence, we mentioned her.
We don't have to do the minute of silence in real time.
I'm
really tempted to just still frame of that for a minute.
That's the bit of the video where people start to wonder: did it break?
Did it freeze?
Freeze frame.
I'm gonna add a spinning wheel on top of it. Really fucking people.
And, oh my god, we've really lost it. It's 3 a.m. in a warehouse in.
You can tell who's watched Dimension 20.
There's a reference.
Go watch Crown of Candy.
Oh, it's amazing. Anyway,
Stop telling them to watch more successful shows.
watch D20. Oh my god, Dimension 20 is amazing. And hopefully, if we promote them enough, they'll
get us on the show, yeah?
They'll notice us. Senpai notice us.
Hi, Brian!
Hello!
Sorry, no, this needs cutting.
I'm going to manifest something quickly. Here with our special guest star, Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Fuck, I don't have the screen record ready. Yeah, this is not getting cut.
Like a cardboard cut out of here. Yes, and that's the point where your editing comes in, and we have Brennan with the little cardboard cut out mouth. So an interesting fact about the roseate spoonbill.
You don't find stoats in temperate swamp forests. Oh god.
Sorry, we need a reset.
Bringing it back. Yes, you found this logbook containing snapshots of the people that have been here in recent weeks and months. You found a map that might help you navigate further through Ysra Wood. That might have some interesting things on it as you wander through. And yeah, you still have yet to find the person you're looking for.
Does the map say Auntie Blightroot anywhere on it?
It does not, unfortunately. Yeah, perfectly reasonable shot. What it does have on it is some sketch lines in places. I mean, it's a sketch map, to be honest. That Tauri or Balrick, Lesley also would possibly recognise it from their training. Like territory markers, signifying this is a person's territory, and if you cross this line, you're going to venture into and might deal with them, kind of thing. and kind of in the center area, it stands out because it's not like anything else on the map. Like most of the other map is like major waterways that someone could navigate a narrow boat through, like a canoe, and then just trees, and then these kind of reference points of where you can tie up a boat. But heading a little northeastward from here is a more angular sketch. Tauri, you're fairly... you like history, and probably know your fair share of maps. It's like someone's like sketched out where a building, you would say was... You don't think it's like an existing one. It's more like a clear, defined landmark of a ruin. Like, get to this point and you'll know where you are, kind of location.
I don't see any notes from the fiddler here, so do we just pick one of these places and head to it?
Perhaps the other docks have other log books with other notes that could give away more.
Well, what's the we're not finished on the
One of the rails.
Oh, the list of directions.
Yeah, we're not finished on that, so I think we need to walk around for what's the next
What are we on? We're on sideways out, right?
Yep.
So one step back is an X.
It's actually a Twitter bird, but whatever.
Is a Twitter bird. Sue me, Musk. What are you gonna do?
Does the map have an X on it?
The map doesn't. Sorry. Map doesn't. But from the look of it, it's not very precise. As I said, it's more focused on the waterways than anything else, and it doesn't look like anything useful to that regard. Just to be clear, this is a map that's almost like fixed down to a table, like it like permanently stays here. It's not just like an individual person's map kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if someone wants to roll investigation on Fiddler's Notebook,
I can. Me
I'll have a look.
Tauri, okay.
I've got this with my -1.
22.
me too. Two of them stick out. Around the notes, around this kind of area point in that chain of symbols, there does appear to be something in the text that's a little odd. If anything, like there's two sentences. Like there's a run-on sentence, right? It goes over one line and down to the other, but the second line is capitalized for no reason. And it basically the first line starts with an N, and the second line starts with an E. The other thing that you pick up on is there are various notes in this notebook, because this is just his personal notebook about his personal thoughts, diary, and that kind of stuff. There is notes throughout about avoiding the two territories. Neither are that fun to deal with, but if I have to deal with anyone, I'd rather deal with the lizard folk, hence why I go this way. Actually, not hence why I go this way. I would rather deal with the lizard folk. And you cross-reference that with the map, and you look at it, and this like central location of like a go here in case of lost thing. One of the reasons it's go here in case lost is it is not in either of the shaded territories. The other thing is, it is northeast from where you are.
It'll make sense. southeast space. It all comes together. That's the name of a bird, probably. That's the direction we go. I don't know, I lost a lot of blood.
I think that's as good a direction to go as any.
It's a place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you're all agreeing with me?
Sometimes you say things that are smart.
Huh. Weird.
You done good, Ximori. And I'll pat you on the back.
A single tear just runs down Ximori's cheek.
Is there anything else to see in this room, or have we looked at everything?
It's a fairly cozy place to stay.
I don't suppose there's any bats here, are there?
What time of day is it?
Mid-afternoon at this point. Like,
Yeah, this would have been a great
4 o'clock-ish.
place to have a short rest.
Would have been a great place for a sleep, for blankets and stuff. Too early for that.
I don't suppose any bats come around this part of the forest at night, would they? Do you think?
Why?
Because, like, we had to get bats for something.
No.
I definitely remember a bats thing, because I
Bats? I don't remember
think
bats.
bats were more of a gift thing for...
Oh.
Auntie liked bats. That was in the book, wasn't it?
Yes. That rings a bell.
Mm.
An excellent source of potassium.
Should we leave something here before we go?
You went off. You went too far. You've gone round the circle there, Ximori.
Oh. Couldn't ride it forever. What are bats an excellent source of? Balrick, you want
Babies.
COVID.
Guano.
That sounds delicious.
And so a plague was born.
Remember to keep within your 5 foot square.
Ximori suddenly develops a new thing of his beast shape. Mask.
You just get a bat to sit on your face. Use its wings.
Yeah, but that'll give you more COVID. It's like...
God, we're off the fucking chain today.
The chain? No. What? Anyway, so there's nothing else here, so we're going to head off. Everyone ready for a hike? Marching order.
Can I please put a note in the logbook first?
Saw a bat. It was nice.
I don't know what to write.
Well, why do you want to put a note if you don't know
Well,
what's alright?
because that's what logbooks are for.
We haven't stayed here.
No, but you stepped inside. No ideas.
I'll just write, bats are an excellent source of potassium. There we go.
Here?
Now they'll know.
So we... Okay.
Do you want to just say that we were here?
Well, I didn't have time to make another Tabitha to leave behind as a present, so I'm going to just write Tabitha was here. Tabitha is here in spirit.
Well, that's just terrifying.
Why?
Holy Aderyn. I'm sure everything's fine.
Hang on, give me a second. I'll just go out the hut briefly to get one of the smoked fish. I'll just sort of like poke 2 holes in it and carve like a vague smiley face. There we go. Tabitha. Ish. It's the best I have with the things available to me.
Thank you. I will place her next to the logbook.
staring at the door.
Yes. Okay, I guess we can leave now.
It's preservers, Jesus.
You guys are terrifying. Accidentally.
You said I wasn't allowed to be angry. I'm trying to be happy instead.
I
Trying to keep it going.
Balrick utters another small prayer under his breath of like, what? Like, spirits preservers.
It's been a day, alright? Let me have this.
Alright,
Well, in that case,
we walk.
Are we doing the pointing again?
What's the point?
The
Oh.
point thing.
No, that was cool.
I'll go bobble.
I'll go in the back. Yeah. Sarah's on a 5-second lag. The internet connection here is not great, so
Internet connection to Sarah's brain is on a lag.
terrible ping.
Sarah's brain is dial-up modem.
We've got terrible ping here. The ping is terrible.
Incredible. Oh. Marching order, please.
I will take. I'm gonna say it. I will take the lead.
Cool.
I'll be second because I'm the second in command. Right, Balrick?
Or whatever you say, Aderyn. You're the second in command. Are you saying that I'm in command?
Lesley will go behind Aderyn because it's Lesley.
I thought we'd all kind of agreed to this. You're the, like, you're the one who sort of, like, leads us and makes the decisions.
Alright. I didn't realise that responsibility was thrust on me, but
Yeah, we're like a, you said, we're like a family, so you're the dad, right?
did I say we're like a family?
You said you were good at parenting. Or was it that
You said that you didn't want to kill.
Please, no, please. Let's. I've got a lot of history with family. Let's not be throwing around this sort of stuff willy-nilly like that. Alright,
From your experience.
You literally said we were family. You and me, at least.
Tauri's the wine aunt.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I think you and Lesley have that covered.
She's got you there.
Yeah, I can't.
Regardless of that situation.
Either way, you're in charge. Whatever you want to call it.
Marching order. Balrick, Aderyn, Lesley.
There's the party name. Marching order. Great name for a
I've
band.
heard worse.
Ximori's at the back.
Ximori at the back.
Ximori on pommel.
I like on pommel.
I like that too.
I'll be next then, behind Lesley.
With Pebble, I assume.
Yeah, him beside me.
Too many T's.
And I'm in front of Ximori.
The murder thing behind you. Can
He
I?
hasn't tried to murder me yet, so...
That's true. You're one of the few.
Sorry, they haven't tried to murder me yet.
One of the few I have not attempted to harm in some way.
Getting through the list. Can I get a survival check from Balrick, please?
I will PvP this entire goddamn party.
14.
14. As you're navigating along, elements of where you're going is solid ground. It's soft earth that definitely sinks underneath. Quite a few of you are quite heavy. Ximori and Pebble and Balrick, that you sink into the earth a fair amount. It's not like weirdly, it's not like cloying mud though. It's just very soft earth. It's very giving, which does rise out of these kind of waterways, which get thinner and thicker in places. Most of them aren't traversable by any kind of boat, and if anything, could probably just be waded across. Others are a bit broader, and you have to kind of work your way around or find a crossing point. Can you roll me a d4 though, please?
How many streaks is it this time?
One.
As you're traveling through, trying to follow your memory of that map as best you can, and try and keep northeast heading, considering you don't have great view of the sun beneath the canopy. You're pretty good. You're experienced at this as best as you can, but it is a bit more of a struggle. Eventually, you think you got a little bit off course, because you essentially come across, for lack of a better term, a bunch of swamp pits. There's like a bunch of large bodies of water kind of in your way, and not much solid earth. Like, there's a lot of hopping. You're gonna have to do a lot of jumping in between to continue on your heading. So I will need everyone to make me an acrobatics check, please. And I will also need Pebble to make one, and Lesley to make one. Anyone can roll for Lesley. I'm going to make what
I
Lesley
think you
has.
should roll for Lesley.
Lesley's
What?
probably plus.
Lesley has a lot of decks,
five.
so there's at least 4.
I think they're proficient in. He's proficient in acrobatics as well, so it's 5 or 6 plus.
I think they are adding a +4 to their decks for the crossbow last time, so 6 makes
plus
sense.
6, yeah. Let's go alphabetically. Aderyn, what did you roll?
A 19 for me.
19. Balrick.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I don't know why I'm going in alphabetical. It's much easier to go marching order. Lesley.
Rolled a 3.
Oh, so it doesn't matter what the box
Oh, the silts!
Togrim and Pebble.
8 for me, 13 for Pebble.
Tauri. 5. Ximori.
22. Can I have physically picked up Togrim?
No. You didn't set it before you rolled.
Yeah.
As you're going through, some of you are much more comfortable trying to attempt this. More akin to travelling rough, shall we say. Ximori and Balrick kind of comfortably navigating through. You kind of lose marching order in this case as you'll just kind of navigate through yourselves. At which point you hear Togrim, you like go to jump and you land on one and your foot slips and you land back in a puddle. Meanwhile, Lesley tries to do something rather flamboyant and like push off a tree to jump across, and the tree just gives out underneath, rotted through, and just shoulder plants into another pond. And then there's Tauri, who's just...
I start laughing at Lesley, not looking where I put my foot, and then just slide and just end up on my arse.
Yeah.
Like,
And you skid down into another one of these like stinking ponds that, like, when you stand up, they're about up to your the one for urine is about up to your waist, and I need everyone who fell in to roll a d6 for me, please.
Classic surprise splits.
oh, Lesley did it.
Lesley rolled a 5.
As you got a 5,
3.
3,
6.
6. Lesley and Togrim, you both like find yourself in like stinking water. Like, this thing is stagnant, like very old, like desiccated mud kind of sunk in, and it just instantly seeps through and you're chilled very quickly. And God, it smells awful. Tauri, similar thing happens to you as you slide into this pond. But you manage to like slide in, and then your boots get caught up in a tangle of weeds, and they actually like see some sort of magical sentience to this plant grabs on and like is actually reeling in your shins. As all of you look around to these, you see 3 of your party members in ponds.
Yeah. You're right, Togrim.
Yeah, I should be. Can I start climbing out?
Yeah, easy enough for you to climb out. You are drenched through, because for you it was like up to here.
Oh.
I'm gonna go, excuse me, Aderyn, and I'll grab Lesley up in the Getting used to doing him in like a fireman lift, you know.
Lesley is cussing like a motherfucker.
I've been doing that with Lesley in this like sort of damsel in distress lift. Oh, chill yourself. Aderyn will clean you up. I'll toss him in front of Aderyn.
Tauri, you look in shock.
There's something trying to wriggle up my legs.
I wouldn't say at this point, it's essentially trying to pull you under.
Very calm about
It's
it.
very calm. Just, I appear to be
attempting to be drowned.
I believe I am being murdered. I might be in danger.
Can I rush over to that pond
Yeah, you can.
and like reach out for? Actually, I'm not fussed. I'm just going to get in the water.
Okay.
Only grab one of us at a time, probably.
You go in. Make me an athletics check to try and break Tauri free of the grapple.
I have advantage because of dominant strength.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 21.
21. You essentially just roughly like underneath both armpits yank, and Tauri like it's like fiercely gripped on, and there's like barbs on it that seem to like scrape down and like along your shin and like dig into your boots. But eventually it's just something snaps underneath the water, and you're suddenly both like yanked free, tumble towards the edge, like Tauri laying on Ximori, like arms underneath. You got a sting on your leg. You took 1 point of damage from this plant not wanting to let go, and you're fairly convinced your boots are properly damaged and probably in need of a cobbler to properly repair them.
That's a good thing I bought new boots.
They'll hold up, but they're not presentable, is my point.
That's fine. These are the travelling boots I bought. My nice boots I left back on the cart.
It's not.
Like I'm in like
now.
I'm in like proper like travelling leathers, unlike my usual gear. Because for whatever reason, bards don't get travelling clothes; they get costumes in their starting kit for obvious reasons. So yeah, plan for
So
this.
I was in waterproof eelskin dungarees until I poked a hole in them and then got several more holes in them with the crocodile's teeth.
To be fair, you could have possibly asked Togrim to mend them.
I could have mended loads of stuff. It just takes
I've had-
time.
Because otherwise I have a massive hole in my jerkin where I got stabbed. So I assume that Togrim mended them.
I wasn't in my right mind.
We can assume that Togrim mended most things.
I also assume Balrick was a bit grumpy about it because he probably got his sewing kit out and then went, oh.
Nonetheless, you eventually manage to make your way through.
Just pull Tauri out of the swamp.
Yes, it does cost you a little bit of time, and it takes Balrick a second to get his bearings again. But eventually, you're fairly sure you're nearing these ruins. As you move through the forest, the damp earth is softening your footsteps, and there's an element where, if you're trying to be stealthy, this ground is helping. But you can hear noise up ahead. Guttural shouts and aggressive vocalizations. Just like, Ignopostic! And then, like, answering back is just an who does anyone speak Draconic here?
Yes, I do.
I do as well.
Cool.
Yep.
Those of you who speak Draconic, this is a dialect of it. What you kind of pick up is not like fluid language. You kind of bits and pieces, and it's mutated slightly. But what you get roughly from one half of this conversation is, leave here if you wish to keep living. Vile and foul smelling. This is ours. Flee or die.
Is this directed at us?
No.
No, it's directed at us.
My God, it's the Welsh-English border.
At the front
Yes.
then. At the front then, I will slow everyone down and just do a quick, while looking back over everyone, and hopefully we all attempt to stealth forward now.
Can everyone
I'm
make
going
a stealth
to.
check?
I'm also going to pull out my bow and knock an arrow,
Mm-hmm.
just in case. But group stealth check, yeah.
Yep.
19.
Do we need Lesley as well?
Lesley, yes. We'll leave Pebble. I'm fairly okay with Pebble falling into Togrim.
Yeah, we'll just assume.
Pebble, be stealthy.
We have the same dex anyway. I rolled an 18.
So Lesley again.
Well, Leslie's got a +4, but what have they done?
I'm carrying Lesley again.
For Lesley, it's
He gets a +4.
7 plus whatever.
4. 11. Not too bad.
For Aderyn, it's 9.
Alright.
And more.
Be carrying at least one person at any time.
Can my 27 take to the point of, like, they start making noise and I pick them up?
Is that a nat 20 for you?
No. I've got extra
Tauri
18.
and Ximori.
19.
More successes than failures. You all successfully managed to, like, carefully tread forward using the soft earth to dampen your approach. And slowly, as you get closer to this noise, Balrick, you can see a section of the forest where a few bits of earth have, like, risen above the stagnant water, higher than your usual, what you've been trekking through. And upon which is a ruined stone structure, long lost to time. While it was clearly built for a reason, it's now long since fallen into disuse and been reclaimed a fair amount by nature. What draws your attention, though, are the gathered creatures around these little islands that the ruin seems to be built upon, amongst the fallen walls and the broken stone. On one side is a group of blue-green scaled lizard folk, their coloured crests raised and primed in anger atop their heads, while in the distance on the other side are hunched, grey-skinned humanoids with long arms and hooked fingernails, with thick drawl hanging from their mouths as they speak forth in guttural tones. This conversation appears to be getting more and more heated, and you see many of the figures here wielding some sort of weaponry of some kind. A lot of the lizard folk bearing stone and bone axes and javelins. And as I say, the conversation is getting very heated and they appear to be on the verge of confrontation.
How far away are we?
You are about 40 odd feet, but well hidden in the foliage. From the edge of the ruins, this is.
Are the other ones speaking a language we might recognise?
Do any of you speak troglodyte?
No.
And honestly, I don't think any of you would know what a troglodyte looks like. Balrick maybe can make me a nature check.
I will.
It'll be a high DC.
By God, they smell bad, though.
You can actually see the stink lines.
An aura of stink.
That's a high roll. That's a 24.
I'll give you that then. You have, at some point in your life, come across troglodytes. They usually prefer warmer climes or underground.
Maybe in the forest when I travelled down?
Yes, yeah, that would make sense. But these are troglodytes, and it appears that these troglodytes and lizard folk are about to engage in a fight. And more annoyingly for you, based on the map and everything, you're expecting the next symbol as to where you're meant to head to be somewhere around these ruins.
We need troglodyte bits.
We need to get through this somehow. We do need troglodyte bits. Do we just take this tide of the lizard folk?
I mean, we could just, kind of wait, see who comes out of it, and then pounce on whoever's left. Yeah, kill them.
A good idea.
Wipe them out, and then we can harvest the troglodytes to our heart's content.
This is sounding very, very, ethically.
I mean, we're literally here for, sentient creature bits for a person, so...
I think we wait, and I think you're right though. I think we do wait and see how it goes right now.
As two of the almost the larger figures on either side continue to like get closer and start tossing more verbal stuff, nothing of this conversation is going across to either side. Neither of them can understand each other, and they're just shouting and threatening each other with weapons. You see one.
My God, it is like the Welsh-English border.
You see one of these lizard folk creep around the side, getting very close to you, with a javelin in hand. And for whatever reason, they just ready the javelin, and then they spot a troglodyte trying to do the same thing that appears to be sneaking around. And just in their shot, just launch the javelin, hitting this troglodyte, which sets out in a shout of alarm. Suddenly everyone spins around, sees the assault happen, and chaos ensues as battle commences. And I think there is a decent place for us to stop. So, we will continue telling this story next time. But until then, see you later.